Hi, my name is Andrea Obeso, and today I'm going to talk about the impact of social media in Philippines. Social media has a big factor that can affect people, not only in the Philippines, but also all over the world, especially young adults. It can be harmful to a young adult when it comes to sexualized text communication, exposure to pornography, online dating, and the risk of bad behavior that may arise. Social media has a lot of problems if we are very observant. There, in the Philippines, the government noticed that there are many victims of cyberbullying. They also noticed that a lot of young people are engaging in sex texting that can cause sexually transmitted infection and young pregnancy. The government, especially the authority, has become aware that many Filipino people have used social networking with bad intentions. Social media is both good and bad. It has actually changed our lives in many ways since its inception. Like everything else, it too has its consequences, which seem to get an upper hand over the pros. So, most people face social media problems, sometime or the other. Social media issues are inevitable. Social media is a great place to promote your views and meet new people, aid communication, and find new job prospects, besides the many other advantages. However, it can, at times, do more harm than good. Perhaps the biggest problem that people face is the amount of time they spend on the social media networks. However, ironically, this is essential nowadays if you want a strong social media presence. Social networking can be addictive and overwhelming at the same time. You need to learn to filter out the noise to find something specific. Another problem is getting addicted to social media, feeling lost, isolated, and become dependent, which can be dangerous. Don't become dependent on such sites. Instead, find yourself some offline hobbies, friends, and ways to recreate so that you don't become addicted to the internet. A clear example of all of this is the Philippines. While countries around the world ramp up efforts to regulate social media, the country that has consistently ranked first for social media use, the Philippines, remains surprisingly free of it. Last year, for the sixth consecutive year, Filipinos spent the most time on social media, 4 hours and 15 minutes per day, with Facebook still the most popular platform. President Rodrigo Duterte's victory in the 2016 election was fueled in large part by his robust Facebook campaign, which included a cohort of trolls and social media influencers sending narratives to help influence the electoral outcome. That the Philippines became a breeding ground of political disinformation is not surprising, given how much Filipinos spend their waking hours online. More of the same is expected to happen, if not already happening, in the lead-up to the presidential polls in May 2022. Outside of elections, regulatory clashes between Facebook and government officials continue. In August, a Filipino congressman sought to investigate Facebook for censoring him online. This was after Facebook took down his post suggesting that ivermectin could cure COVID-19, in violation of the platform's COVID-19 misinformation policy. These examples demonstrate the fundamental tension surrounding debates on social media regulation. On one hand, platforms can help safeguard key public interests such as public health and safety. On the other hand, the misuse of social networks bring with it quite a number of problems such as those I mentioned earlier about the Philippines. It is time to think about what good regulation ought to look like in countries with relatively weak rule of law. No one solution will make these problems go away, but good social media regulation is possible if, as a starting point, we put communities affected by content moderation at the center of regulatory protection. Thank you for your attention, and I hope that all this information is useful to you, and, in the same way, become aware of the damage that the misuse of social media brings. Bye bye!